Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Podcast in the Peartree. I'm Danielle.
I'm Samantha.
And I'm Aaron Lee.
And we are going to be reviewing Merry Textmas on Lifetime. But before we dive into it, what did we see this week? Anything we want to talk about?
I saw a fabled Christmas or a fabled holiday.
I think it was Fabled Christmas.
I think it was Fabled Christmas on Hallmark with Brooke Dorsey and some other guy. I was excited about this. I thought the premise was really good. I thought they had a lot of really cute little hooks. It was very storybooky. Each section in between the commercials was a chapter. It was very Brigadoon-y if you're into musical theater at all and you've seen Brigadoon, but it was poorly executed. It really lost my interest quickly, and I was really disappointed because the potential was there and it just fell flat. I cannot recommend. I know.
Also, I was wrong. It is a fabled holiday.
Redo it as a fabled Christmas next year and maybe do better.
Sucks when Hallmark has a stinker, you know, like
they do.
They come out with some.
I mean, I've watched many a Hallmark movie and said no.
Hard pass.
How about you, Samantha?
I watched, so not a stinker on Hallmark. I watched #Xmas, which I really like.
I loved that one.
Yeah, it was kind of a smarter, more current social media influencer type of a film that had a lot of twists and turns, and I don't want to give away too much. I just think people should watch it. I think it's great.
So, Aaron Lee, weren't you going to talk about A Cozy Christmas Inn?
Okay, A Cozy Christmas Inn. This is a sequel to my absolute favorite Candace Cameron Bure movie, Christmas Under Wraps, and it does not compare to the original, if you ask me. It's cute, it's fine, it's adorable, but watch the original. I don't need to watch this one again, whereas I watch Christmas Under Wraps every single year. It was fun because we had Jodie Sweetin, who played Stephanie Tanner on Full House, taking over for Candace Cameron Bure as the love interest. And she was the lead actor's ex-girlfriend that he talked about in the first one, very briefly. But it was just a lot of, that's Garland for you.
Yeah. It brought in the same exact actors too.
Yeah, and that was great, but I can leave it.
I feel like I need to watch Christmas Under Wraps again because I did not like this movie, the Cozy Christmas one. Just
Sounds like you...
I didn't think it was connected to Christmas Under Wraps. I didn't know that until you told me. And so now I feel like I need to watch Christmas Under Wraps to understand the connections, because on its own, I thought it sucked.
Yeah, I gave it points because they did have the same cast and they kept saying, that's Garland for you.
Right. They even made references that were very specific to the last movie, like the clothes. Oh, there's these pants that have fleece in I forgot what it was, like sweatpants or something like that. Material under the whatever.
Still, I think one of Candace Cameron Bure's funniest deliveries when they're like, let's talk about something else. And she's like, today I bought jeans lined with sweatpants. Yeah. It was just very funny when she did it. I'm not doing it justice. We need to call Candace Cameron Bure for that.
And I also want to bring up the film we were originally going to review for this episode, which was A New Orleans Noel. And the reason we were going to review it is because Patti LaBelle is in it. It also stars Keisha Knight Pulliam, and it is executive produced by Whoopi Goldberg. But I watched the film. It wasn't terrible, but it was just like a nice, normal film. I kind of wish Patti LaBelle had sang at some point, but that didn't happen.
She didn't sing?
No, she didn't sing.
That's like when Josh Groban guest starred on Glee and didn't sing. I'm like, why do you get Josh Groban and then have him not sing? Why do you get Patti LaBelle and have her not sing?
Yeah,
That's just a mistake.
Surprising.
Yeah, they could have had her sing at some point. I mean, she was this icon for being the first Black woman to have a confectionery. Is that what it was?
And really good pralines, because that's what New Orleans.
Right.
It's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans. I felt like it made New Orleans look really Christmassy and charming. And I was like, oh, I'd like to go to New Orleans this time of year. I thought that was nice.
I didn't get to watch it yet, but I do want to watch it because I want to compare it to Hallmark's New Orleans movie, All Saints Christmas, which I felt also was kind of lackluster. It wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't great.
I didn't realize that there was another New Orleans movie out.
Yeah, All Saints Christmas on Hallmark.
It's a different network. But instead, we are reviewing Merry Textmas, and I'm grateful we were willing to review this film because I started watching it. I wasn't sure what it was going to be about. Again, I'm going into this blind, and I thought to myself, okay, let's just see. Clearly, there's going to be texting involved, but within the first 10 minutes, I was kind of sold because I was like, what? Oh, this is happening? Because how it starts is you see the lead character, her name's Gabby, and she is on the phone. She calls her grandmother who lives in Mexico, in Oaxaca, and they're like, we're coming, for Christmas. And then she's like, I'm gonna get a group text started. And her dad's like, oh, add this person to the family group text. And so she's adding it, and he's saying the number, but she types in the number wrong, and then inadvertently adds somebody, a stranger, to the group text. And just, it's something that could happen in real life, right? You're putting together a group text, you're adding a number, but she types in a number wrong. And then she adds this guy, Alex. And then all of a sudden, this guy, his phone's blowing up and getting all these group texts, which we know how group texts are, especially family group texts can be. And at some point, they realize that this person is a stranger and is like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Like, feel free to leave, etc. But he's kind of amused by it. And then what ends up happening is that covertly, the dad in the group text invites Alex to their family Christmas in Mexico. There's your setup. And I was like, what is this?
Well, I think also because, Alex, he has this sort of family storyline of like his parents are busy. He's not really connected. He's got this really warm family, and he's on this group text with this really great family. And I don't know, he's kind of enchanted by them. And so then, they invite him because he says he's by himself for Christmas because his parents are on like a holiday somewhere. And so then they're like, oh, but, Gabby's single and this guy's alone and he's cute because he keeps sending photos of himself.
Selfies. Yeah, selfies. And he's real in the sense that he's like, oh, this is weird. He's like, I should not go. But then his parents egg him on to go. So I guess you're right. There is some realism there. It's not like he just jumps in blindly. Like, yeah, he understands there's awkwardness and Gabby understands there's awkwardness. But
I think everybody understands there's awkwardness.
Yeah, a lot of that happened, but there are just a lot of really fresh elements that I really liked. I hope you all thought it was enjoyable in many, many regards. We were in a different location for this movie.
I agree. I really had a good time watching this. And Samantha and Danielle, you both know that I am very much a winter person. I want my Christmas movies to take place in the winter. I want snow. I want evergreens. That's what I want. Sherry keeps trying to get me to watch Holiday in the Wild, which is in Africa on a safari. And I'm like, no, there's no snow. I want snow in my Christmas movie. And so this one taking place in Oaxaca, I was a little nervous. There's going to be no snow. But this movie did something different for me. This movie made me interested in the traditions of Oaxaca to the point that I was looking it up today on the internet to see what they do and which of the traditions that I saw in the movie are actually happening. And it was really, really fascinating. And I really enjoyed how colorful their Christmas was. It wasn't just red and green. It was a rainbow of colors, and it was so bright and so beautiful. And I feel like the cinematography in this film really captured that essence and that feel, and it really got me involved. And so I appreciated this film, not just for the story, which is adorable. It's really, really cute, but because it really inspired me to go out and learn about a new culture. And I am going to read a little more about Oaxacan holiday traditions. It sounds fascinating and interesting, and I appreciate that.
Well, and to add, Oaxacan food is delicious.
Oh.
But I'll add to that, Aaron Lee, in terms of the setting, they did such a great job of, I don't know, it looked magical. And it's interesting to me because, with the, what's the one that Mario Lopez was in, the Lifetime one, Holiday in Santa Fe?
Holiday in Santa Fe.
The Holiday in Santa Fe. And Santa Fe is a very magical kind of place, and they filmed it there in the plaza and everything, and I felt like this film captured Oaxaca so much better than that one did Santa Fe, and it was really, really beautiful.
Well, definitely. I mean, we learned a lot about the 12 challenges, which was a huge premise in the movie because the family is doing this together as part of the traditions, and then the main characters, because they happen to both be in a very similar industry with Gabby, who is the lead. She's a coder, but then Alex, the guy, is a UX designer. So they are very compatible techies here. And so they create an app to track the completion of the 12 challenges. So as the family does them, they like share photos, etc. I thought that was really a great way to incorporate both the work that they do and that modern as well as the traditions and highlighting that in the town.
But what's nice is that, like their personalities, their jobs complement one another.
So true.
Did I just write a tagline?
But then you have the family that, just like any other family, really wants her to find somebody. And so there's that whole background always happening with, you know, the parents and the grandmother and everything. So.
And the thing is, the family was so lively and not as two-dimensional as I would expect them to be. Like her abuela was so vibrant and feisty. Wow, this woman, she's on her own like romantic storyline here on the side with the mayor. I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, and I don't think there was two-dimensionality at all here. I thought this was an incredibly three-dimensional film. You two can correct me if I'm wrong. I've never hung out with a group of women, just women, because I'm a man. But the conversation that the sisters and the mom and the grandmother had in the kitchen seemed so spot on to me. That, in my imagination, is what women actually talk about when they're alone together. I felt like I was a fly on the wall spying on a private conversation. And that's kind of what I'm looking for in a lot of films and a lot of things like this is I want to see your vulnerability. I want to see your personality. I want to see your private life on the screen. And that's what I saw here. And I really, really appreciated that. I thought that was a really beautiful scene, a really fun scene, and almost made the movie for me.
No, I appreciate you sharing that, Erin Lee, because I think the genuine moments that it captures and the experience of their family is very genuine. And I also want to comment on the genuineness in capturing also this immigrant / first gen experience in the US. There's a scene that actually, like, I teared up a little bit when Gabby and Alex are talking about just assimilating in the US and their experiences. Alex in particular was talking about how his parents are also from Mexico, but he's lost touch with that side of himself because he felt like he didn't belong. So he kind of really let go of that side of him because he was being teased about it. And that also, honestly, personally also brought up a lot of things for me because that was also my experience. Having to, you kind of lose a little bit of it because your environment, it people tease you, your accent, etc., to kind of have this assimilation experience. And then Gabby also echoing that for her when she moved, having people tease her as well. It felt very genuine. And I was like, whoever wrote this, they are definitely writing from experience. And I really appreciated tackling that issue.
Well, and then he also had this element of like, he was trying to kind of find himself again through Gabby and through her taking him through Oaxaca and her family. And he was kind of enchanted by the whole situation on the group text. But then when he got there, she kind of was like, you know, you're just rediscovering who you are again. And so that was a really nice part of it too. It was really cozy. And I don't know, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed a lot of this film. I thought it was great.
Did anybody else enjoy that the title, in addition to being, you know, about texting, also because they are from Texas and Textmas?
Yeah.
I love that was just exciting for me. I'm like, oh, Textmas sounds like Texas. Yeah.
Well, and before I watched it, because I knew nothing going into it, Danielle told me it's in a different location, something we haven't seen before. And I was like, okay. And so I saw that skyline and I was like, oh, that's Austin. Okay. Yeah, this is Texas. So I like really pride myself, you guys, on being able to identify skylines like immediately.
Yes.
I was like, this is either.
I did not know this was your hidden talent. I love it.
I was like,
I'm going to make you flashcards.
Good. I was like, this is either Austin, Albuquerque, or Tucson, but then there's the water, and I was like, it's Austin. They have
that is so
similar
cool
architecture in some of their skyscraper buildings. Anyways, but Austin, yeah, fun. Texas, Oaxaca.
Samantha loves Austin, y'all, and especially their airport. I had a layover in Austin. Samantha was like, you have a layover in Austin. That's great.
They have live music in the airport.
They did.
Also a good place for food.
I had some food at the Austin airport while enjoying some live music.
I'm going to have a super long layover in Austin for a trip coming up, so I will keep that in mind.
Yeah, not a bad airport to get stuck at.
It's a good airport.
And it's not too big. It's manageable.
Be thankful you're not at JFK.
Well, what did we think?
I want to watch it again. I do. I want to watch it again. I want to see those colors again. I want to see those beautiful dresses when the women were spinning at the end and we were seeing the in English, it's a parade, but they called it a posada, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in these beautiful, bright colored dresses and spinning and dancing. I want to see that again. So yeah, I'd watch it again.
I'd watch it again too. I thought it was really nice and it was fun and it was current. I didn't find it cheesy. I thought it was really nice.
And same. I think if I watch it again, I probably will pick up on different things that I didn't see the first time, especially with the different traditions and the challenges. I mean, the rosca de reyes bread, I'm like, wait, how do you make this again?
Right?
Or like, what are these radishes? The night of the radishes. I need to kind of figure that out a little bit more.
I was reading about that today online.
Oh yeah,
the night of the radishes.
Yeah, and I like how Gabby was like, it's so weird, but I like it. Okay, the embracement of just saying what it is. I think the characters felt very genuine in how they were responding to the situation, and so I really, especially Gabby, just expressive. It felt more expressive than it did scripted. I liked that about her character. And also all the other women. Ironically, you mentioned that conversation. All the women were just so rich. I mean, the aunt who's a working mom and trying to go to law school and has the support of her family. Like, that's amazing. And the abuela not taking her own advice and they're calling her out on it. Like, so great. I just love it.
The strength of the women in this really did stand out to me. These were all beautiful, well-rounded, well thought out characters. And, you know, we've talked about in these movies the jobs that women have, and we're sick and tired of seeing them as event planners working at a magazine or decorators. Here we saw a woman who's a coder, and that was really great to see. Now, I do want to bring up something that's not specific to this movie. It's specific to Lifetime. I have a beef with Lifetime.
You have a beef with Lifetime. Let me hear it.
I know. All three of these networks, GAC, Hallmark, and Lifetime, all put graphics at the bottom of the screen during the movies to advertise upcoming films. Hallmark and GAC are very small. They don't really bother me. They're there. I see them. Okay, whatever. Lifetime has a big, giant box that takes up more than a sixth of my TV screen. I measured it. And I'm missing parts of the movie. Fix that, Lifetime. Fix it.
Since there was a lot of Spanish in the film and they had subtitles, hopefully it wasn't covering any of the subtitles.
It did not cover subtitles, and I appreciated that. I'll admit, I have a hard enough time reading subtitles as it is because I'm a very slow reader. It takes me a long time, and I usually miss about half of the title. So that's another reason I think I want to go back. Now that I know the story, I don't have to pay so much attention to the subtitles, so I can actually see more of the movie.
I felt like the subtitled text was not very easy to read.
It could have been thicker. Yeah, it could have been.
It needed to be way better. I was like, what are they doing? It's really hard to read. They need to change that. Change that and change the banner or the box.
Change the box. Change the box, Lifetime.
If that's the main complaint, I'll take it.
Yeah. I don't know what you're going to say.
No kidding. It's the one place that GAC has Lifetime beat.
Oh, you heard it here first, Melissa Joan Hart.
I'm glad that it sounds like we all appreciated the movie. I know I probably want to travel to Oaxaca, Mexico as a result of this, and really had a fine appreciation for the culture and characters and location that was highlighted.
I say podcast in a Peartree field trip.
Oh,
it's a very artsy place. We could go there and take like a workshop. I know things about this.
And if we go there for podcast in a Peartree, it'll probably be tax deductible.
Let's do it.
Live on location.
That would be so much fun. At any rate, folks, thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. Please follow and rate. And if you feel so inclined, click and write a review for us.
Find us where you find all your podcasts.
Bye.
Bye.